I am God. I am white. I have black lungs. This video is to explain. I started smoking when I was 14. I was at boarding school, a school called Charterhouse. I started there in September 2001, which was quite a memorable month, if you can remember what happened in September 2001. Anyways, when I was a kid, I lived with my mum and my grandparents most of when I was a young kid, when I was growing up between the ages of, I don't know, well, since I was a very small child, 1, 2, 3 years old, something like that. My earliest memories of being alive, I used to live at a house in Weston-super-Mare. Well, I guess you would call it, I don't know, is it Weston-super-Mare? Yeah, maybe it is it's near Wirral. Or it is Wirral, I don't know. But a place called Larchgrove Walk. Is it or Larchgrove Avenue? Yeah, it's called Larchgrove Avenue. I used to live in a house there with my grandparents and my mum, and my earliest memories were living there. And then she decided she wanted to go to London because she had a law degree, and so she wanted to go work in London. And so I moved with my mum and my grandparents to southeast London. I lived there it's a place called, it's near, Wallington. It's near Sutton. I used to live near Hackbridge train station. Anyways, I always grew up in a house where my mum was smoking, so I always grew up around smoke. And so when I went to boarding school, I started smoking. I always wanted my mum to quit smoking. I was never fond of the fact. I was always afraid of her dying. I was always, I always felt depressed because it depressed me because my dad, I didn't know him really. My parents got divorced, and my mom was the only parent I had, and she was a smoker, and everyone was like, Fiona, you should stop smoking, you're gonna die of cancer. And that's what happened to her. She did die of cancer in 2021. But how she died of cancer is a little bit different, actually. Well, she got anal cancer, and they had to cut out her rectum, and she had to have a colostomy bag. And then the cancer spread through her body. It went through her lymphatic system, and it got to her lungs, and then her lungs flooded, and that's how she died. She drowned in fluid, basically. That's how she died. So technically she kind of died of lung cancer, but it didn't start off as lung cancer. I think what happened to her was, I think she got an HPV infection, and that gave her the anal cancer. Yeah. Anyway, so I started smoking when I was 14, basically. It wasn't the first time I'd tried a cigarette, but 14 is when I actually I started smoking, you know, I don't know, 5 a day, and then it became 10 a day, and at one point I think it was 40 a day I was smoking. Um, so yeah, I've gone through my life smoking. You know, sometimes I was smoking 30, 40 a day, sometimes 20. I smoke about 20 now. I don't really smoke. Um, yeah, I guess it varied a bit, but anyway. And there have been a couple of times I've actually quit smoking, and I've vaped instead of smoking. Um, but I've never seemed to got I've never seemed to I've never quit nicotine. That's the thing, right? I've always been on the nicotine. Um, yeah. So, you know, the reason I'm mentioning all of this is because, well, um, I'm God, and I manifest with my words. If you have read the Old Testament, um, you know, if you read the creation story, how God created everything, the world, the sun, the moon, the stars, the universe, people. Well, that's the thing. I breathe life into, you know, my words manifest. Okay. Um, and that's the thing, you know, lying spirits would like you to believe that I'm not God and that God is black. I mean, there are a lot of people in the last several years. There have been a lot of people who say, "Oh, Jesus is a black man," or you know, things like that, right? Well, that's not true. I'm white. I have black lungs. Okay. Well, I couldn't tell you exactly what color my. I couldn't tell you exactly the color of my lungs. I mean, because I haven't actually looked for myself. Do you know what I mean? But I have smoked a lot of cigarettes in the last 20, I don't know, 23, 24 years, something like that. So most of my life, for more than half of my life, I've smoked. I guess it's more like 2/3 of my life actually. Um, mm, yeah, almost 2/3 of my life, I've been smoking. So I guess my lungs would be a brownish, blackish color. Yeah. Um, yeah. You see, a lot of it has to do with magic power. You know, I was growing up with my mum, and she was, Fiona, she was a smoker, and the thing is that she was evil, and she was doing evil things, and she was trying to absorb my power. I mean, that's what she did, right? Because I was a young, defenseless child. I'm still, you know, I was God, but I was, you know, I was young, I was defenseless in many ways. And so it meant that um, lying spirits, demons could try to attack me in many different ways. I wasn't even aware that I was God when I was a little kid. So it meant that my mom was doing all kinds of weird magic and stuff. I mean, and this is the thing, right? Because you know, if a black person comes to say England, or you know the UK, you know that they're called a migrant, and my name is Grant. My mum, Fiona, that's the name she chose for me. Yeah, she chose to call me Grant. See, it's a very tricky name because, you know, that's the thing. You know, whenever she gave me something like pocket money or whatever, clothes or presents or anything like that, you know, that's granting, isn't it? And so, and that's the thing. Whenever that's a magic trick. She granted me the name Grant, and she would, and I depended on her to give me things because I was a little boy. And I suppose me starting smoking was a way of me defending myself. Really, that's really I fell into those vices, those bad habits and drugs because my mom had all those problems. I mean, I went to boarding school. I started smoking. I came back, and my mom had all kinds of drugs. She had, shall I mention them? Yeah. Okay. So she had ketamine. She had coke. She had speed. She had ecstasy, weed, cannabis, marijuana. Yeah, marijuana. What else did she have? I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, cocaine. Yeah, cocaine sometimes. But ketamine was really her favorite. And it became my favorite as well. When I was that age, I got hooked on that stuff. And it was only, about a decade after I started taking it that, the news, well, in the years following it, nowadays people see ketamine as a powerful antidepressant, and actually people get treated with it to treat depression. But back when I started doing ketamine, no one, that wasn't a commonly held belief. It was just it was used as a horse tranquilizer and a very powerful, I guess a very powerful, well, a sedative sort of thing. I think it's being used as like an anesthetic, maybe anesthetic. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure, but don't quote me on that. I remember, there was a story about someone there was a story of someone in I think it was the London Underground tube station, and they got caught under a tube train, and they had to administer they had to give them loads of ketamine to basically rescue them because they needed it apparently. Anyways, yeah. So, I picked up a lot of bad habits, but really it was just me getting through it all. Basically, I didn't really have, that's how I managed to get through things. So, here I am. I'm still alive. I intend to quit smoking. Yeah, I'd like to. The way I look at it is, well, I'm God. I mean, I was, 2,000 years ago, I was Jesus. I was crucified. I rose from the dead. Miraculous things can happen. So, I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I can tell you. I have no idea. But the thing is, because the world is fighting me so hard, they're trying to steal my energy, right? They keep trying to steal my energy and keep attacking me with spells. Well, if I actually manage to get people to stop attacking me with all these spells and stuff, if I get people to, if I stop people from doing what they're doing and get people to actually listen to me, then it's gonna help me a lot. That's the thing. It's gonna help me. It's gonna help me heal in various ways. I couldn't exactly tell you how, but I will get better. So I'm just trying to make that happen. I'm trying to ensure that happens. Yeah. So, I'm gonna have a cigarette. I mean, that's the thing as well, you know, like when I was at boarding school, I was a big fan of Limp Bizkit. So much that other kids used to mock me for being a fan of Limp Bizkit. You know what's really strange? You know, if you've seen that the music video for their song is called Rollin', and the video of it is on top of the World Trade Center, and I think they did the video a year before the attacks on September 11th. And what I think the story was that Fred Durst, he got a Video Music Award or something like that. He received it the day before on September 10th, 2001. And that was the day before it got hit by the planes. So the World Trade Center got hit by the planes. Bizarre, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. And obviously that's when I started smoking. I didn't smoke rollies at that age, but I do smoke rollies now. I mean, I started smoking rollies when I was a teenager, so I just figured it was cheaper. And then I realized they taste better as well. So yeah, the thing that I don't really, regular cigarettes, how, like a pack of Marlboros or Benson and Hedges or, I don't know, Super King Blacks. That's what my mum always used to smoke. Super King Blacks. And, they burn so hot and they burn so quickly. With rollies, they don't burn as hot and you're less likely, they don't start, you know what I mean? Like, less likely to have a house fire with them as well. I couldn't tell you the number of times I went on the night out, went clubbing or something, and then I go back home, and I don't even remember going home or getting in bed, and I wake up the next morning and there's like a spliff stuck to my shoulder or something like that, or a cigarette stuck, you know what I mean, or just, just stupid shit like that, basically. Like, done that so many times. Yeah. Anyway, I just want to, yeah. So the point I'm making about the fact is, I've got black lungs, it's not that I'm a black man, it's that I'm a white man, but I have black lungs. And so, that's the thing, white people speak, black people speak. I am white, and in a sense, you know what I mean? Like, it's a magic thing, okay? Yeah, and so I'm just explaining that, okay? I have white lungs and I have black lungs at the same time because my DNA. I'm of a white man. It's just that I smoked a lot of cigarettes. Cigarettes have tar in them, and the tar, it sticks to my lungs. Right? And obviously, let's not forget about tarot. Yeah? Tarot. The magic cards. It's not really that the card is magic, it's the artwork and the words that are on the cards. That's what's magic. I'm God. I am the Word. Art is a word. Music is a word. Movie or film or TV program, those are words as well. I'm connected to everything. So there's nobody else who has the same power as me. So shall I do a reading? Yeah. Okay. I'll do a tarot reading. Let me just see if I can get a little bit extra light here on my screen. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, I smoke my cigarette, I drink my coffee. It's an interesting combination. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. My mum she was an energy vampire. I mean, her zodiac sign is her son's zodiac sign, which is interesting, right? Because I was her son. But her son's zodiac sign was Taurus. And the thing about Taurus, because I'm Scorpio, and Taurus, on the zodiac wheel, Taurus and Scorpio are opposed. So we're at opposites to one another, basically. So the bull and the scorpion tend not to get along together very well, basically. But anyway, her sun's sign was Taurus. And the thing about in the tarot deck, well, I guess you would call it the religious card, which is number 5, is called the Hierophant card. And in some decks, it might be called the Pope or the High Priest. And the thing is, well, obviously, the Pope, what does he, everyone calls him Father, which they're not supposed to do, right? I'm against the Catholic Church. They're against me, actually. They worship Mary. They do pagan rituals. They talk rubbish. They're liars, and they do things they shouldn't do. But that's the thing. So the Hierophant card is associated with Taurus. And obviously, there's the Bible, right? My mom was bisexual, right? She slept with men and women. She was bisexual. She was a bisexual Taurus or Taurian. And another energy drink, obviously I drink coffee. And another thing I like to drink is Red Bull, or energy drinks. Red Bull. Well, obviously a Bible is something that you're supposed to have read, if you know what I'm saying, right? I mean, if you look at the image on the front of the can, it's 2 bulls going at one. They're 2 bulls. Look, I'll show you, right? See, there's 2 bulls, and there's like that golden sun disc in the middle. Bi means 2. B-I means 2. So, anyways. My mom was an energy vampire, and when I started reading the Bible, when I was in my late 20s, I guess, that's when my mom, that's when she started having problems with cancer. So, that is when I started discovering the truth about myself, that caused my mom to just fall apart, basically, and it killed her. Because I was, yeah, that's the thing. I took my power back. I was slowly gathering my energy back, and it destroyed her, basically. So people, they like to say, oh, I got this inheritance. I got lots of money and a house and, a nice car, and I earned that. Yeah, my mom, she stole from me first. That's the thing. She was trying to steal from me first, and all I did was take back as much as I could from her. Obviously, she had a finite amount, didn't she? Yeah. Anyways, we got the Ten of Swords here. So, the sword is to do with logic and truth. Okay, there's that dead person. For all those swords in the back. Five of Swords. Well, that's a defeat. Okay, so there's this guy, and he looks like he's defeated, and there's those two other guys walking away. It's an interesting word, isn't it? Defeat. I mean, that's the thing. My mom, her name was Fiona, but obviously the short way of saying Fiona is Fee. Defeat. There's the word feces, or there's the word feelings. Emotion, feelings, or maybe this is the thing. This is why. That's the thing. She was a witch, and she was doing witchy things. If you've ever heard of Sophia, if you know anything about Gnosticism, there is a female who is called Sophia. And the thing about Sophia, well, the word Sophia actually means wisdom. Anyways, if that's something you want to Google or search on the internet, Sophia, Gnosticism, have a look. That's basically, that's the thing. My mum was a witch. Okay. Okay, so we've got the Four of Wands here. I mean, the thing is that obviously Fiona, she died in 2021, but the fact is her ghost is still trying to do no good. Do you understand? Like, she's still trying to lie about me and attack me. So, she's trying to... Because that's the thing, right? Because she treated me very badly. I'm God. She's afraid of me. And so, she is trying to prevent me from succeeding. She is trying to get in my way by using magic and witchcraft and using other lying spirits to attack me with their words and their spells and spying on me and all sorts of stuff like that. So, yeah. Oh, we got the Devil card here. The Devil. And then we got the Three of Wands. And then we got the Page of Wands and the Six of Cups. Ten of Cups. Whoa. Strength. I mean, that's the thing, right? Because this is an interesting card, isn't it? It's the woman with the lion. And you notice how she's got an infinity symbol above her head. That's what people call that symbol. It looks like a sideways 8. Okay? And obviously, I was Jesus. I am the... Jesus was described as the Lion of the tribe of Judah. So, there's a woman with the lion, and it's called Strength. That's how, that's how my, the fact that I lived with Fiona, this is how, people who are close to me gather strength. This is how people try to acquire strength from me, is by being close to me, like, physically close. Then we've got the Queen of Swords and the Star card. Eight of Pentacles. I've got a load of cards here. So I got the Knight of Wands, King of Swords, the Emperor, number 4, yeah, the Empress, the High Priestess, Ace of Cups. Okay. Let me have a look at this. So we've got the Ten of Swords, Five of Swords, Four of Wands, the Devil, Three of Wands, Page of Wands, Six of Cups, Ten of Cups, Strength, Queen of Swords, the Star, Eight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, King of Swords, the Emperor, the Empress, the High Priestess, Ace of Cups. I'm a little bit lost here. Hang on. Let me just have a little give me a second. Yeah, I've had another look at it and I still don't know what it means. I'm still not sure what this is trying to say. So Ten of Swords, Five of Swords. I mean, Ten of Swords is betrayal. It's backstabbed. Someone's dead. It could be either of those. Five of Swords, that's defeat. Ten of Swords, Five of Swords, Four of Wands, the Devil, Three of Wands, Page of Wands, Six of Cups, Six of Cups, Ten of Cups, strength. What? I don't know what the hell this is saying. Normally I'm pretty good at reading cards, but I'll tell you what, I can't read what this is. I'm really... Let me have another go. Right, Ten of Swords. So look, this is betrayal, and then this is saying defeat. Four of Wands, that's like society. You know, that's society, basically. It's like the community. And then there's the Devil card, which I can show you if I cover it with my fingers. Four of Wands, the Devil, well, that's the thing, you know, society, the community, the world, people, most people are basically the devil. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, most people are acting in that energy, which is sinning, fornicating, doing all the wrong things. You know what I mean? So Four of Wands, the devil. Three of Wands, Page of Wands. Well, I guess I could be talking about sodomy. Yeah, sodomy, right? So Three of Wands. You know, that's talking about, you know, it's a sex magic card, right? A three looks like a bum. A stick is a stick of fire, right? You know, it's a wand. And then Page of Wands. Well, you know what I mean? A Page of Wands is, you know, I mean, you could say that my Facebook page is a Page of Wands, you know, because it's a magic page that I'm working on, right? But, you know, people want to do sodomy and they're Page of Wands. They're, you know, they're not very good at magic, but, you know, they like to just do sodomy. You know what I mean? It's hardly a magic trick, is it? Well, do you know what I mean? That's, you know, that's not, it's easy sex magic, isn't it? Let's put it that way. And then there's the Six of Cups. So, you know, people, you know, this could be talking about a loving, you know, it could be like a relationship. It could be past memories, because, you know, it could be like childhood memories, or it could be, you know, children, something to do with children and love and happiness, something like that. Then there's the Ten of Cups. You know, this is supposed to be total happiness. You know, there's the family, and, you know, there's the parents and the children, and they're totally happy. They got, you know, the parents, what direction are they looking in? They got their backs turned. They're looking the other way. Right? You know, I'm God, and I want the world to pay attention to me, but they're like, no, we're happy, we'll look the other way. Bye. See you later, God. And then there's the Strength card, which could mean, you know, it's the woman with the lion. It could be to do with lust. It could be to do with strength. Yeah, I mean, because in the Thoth deck, you can look for it yourself. If you go to, you know, search on the internet, look for the Thoth tarot card, which is called Lust. It's a woman, a naked woman, riding a seven-headed beast. It's got 7 lion's heads. At least that's what it looks like. It's supposed to depict the beast from the Book of Revelation, the first beast that has 7 heads and 10 horns. Basically, it's supposed to depict something like that, right? It's the Whore of Babylon riding the beast. Okay, and so, you know, so if I could look at this again: 10 of Swords, 5 of Swords, 4 of Wands, the Devil, 3 of Wands, Page of Wands, 6 of Cups, 10 of Cups, and then it's this card, right? It's this card. You know, she's the Whore of Babylon. She's the, you know, so Queen of Swords, the Star. Okay. Oop. Whatever. You can't even see anything on there. Anyway. 8 of Pentacles. Knight of Wands. King of Swords. the Emperor, the Empress, the High Priestess, Ace of... What? 10 of Cups, Strength, Queen of Swords, the Star, 8 of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, King of Swords. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck this is saying. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. But this is the thing, right? Because magic is so complex that it will affect the cards coming out, right? So, you know, there's probably some weird spell. You know, there's some weird magic going on, and whatever the fuck this is trying to say, I don't know. It's something I haven't quite figured out yet. What a stupid fucking reading. Let me start with another reading, because clearly that didn't work. Right? Let's try one more reading. I don't want to do 20 more readings. Just one more reading, please. Can we get a better explanation this time, please? Okay, first card, 9 of Swords. Okay, someone's stressed, suffering from anxiety. That person, they're lying in their bed, right? They look unhappy or something like that. And then we got Death. Okay, so obviously this is this is associated with Scorpio. So 9 of Swords, Death, 8 of Wands. And obviously, you know, Fiona Salvin, well, she's dead, isn't she? Do you know what I mean? Dead people, well, spirits, ghosts, there are also lying spirits and demons and all sorts of, yeah, that, you know, death, you know, has a lot of, there are a lot of connections to death, right? Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, so we've got the 8 of Wands, so that's moving quickly towards something, and then we got the Chariot. Ooh. And then we got 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands. Clarity. Look, okay, we got 3 of Wands, Queen of Swords, the High Priestess, the Empress. So what does this, you know, this to me is basically, it's just what I've said before. 9 of Swords, Death, okay? I'm 9 of Swords, here's the Death card, okay, Scorpio. I'm unhappy, okay? I'm pissed off. 8 of Wands, moving quickly towards the Chariot. Okay, the Chariot, it can mean the car or the bed, okay? In fact, my rising sign is Cancer, which is associated with the Chariot card is a Cancerian card. Okay, when I go up to my bed, I rise, I go up the stairs. So, you know, in terms of magic, right? People will like to think that I'm Cancer when I go to bed. I go upstairs to bed, I've risen, so my rising sign is Cancer, and then I come back downstairs and everyone thinks I'm Scorpio again. Bizarre, huh? But anyways, moving quickly towards the Chariot and the 10 of Pentacles. So, 9 of Wands, 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands, 3 of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the High Priestess, and the Empress. So basically what that's saying is sex, right? That's all it's saying. It's saying that that's where I'm going. I'm going towards lots of money and lots of sex. Fame, fortune, power, all that stuff. Okay? I will clarify that with another reading. Okay? I'll give this a really nice shuffle. Okay, Two of Cups. What was I talking about? I was talking about sex and money. Well, Two of Cups, right? Sex. Relationship, something like that, right? Six of Pentacles. So, this is sharing. Okay, so you see, the guy, he's giving money out to beggars and stuff, but it's basically it's sharing, it's giving, receiving. So this is the thing, I'm supposed to have multiple women, and there will be sharing involved, I suppose, right? There's gonna be I'm gonna have a lot of women coming and going, that sort of thing, something like that, right? Because look, I mean, think of it this way, right? Lots of women have sinned against me, God, right? I've got no reason to like them. I've got no reason to love them or anything like that, right? So what's the thing that they can give me that will improve their situation with me? Do you understand, right? So they've got that opportunity to try to put a smile on my face, right? So we got judgment. Okay. Judgment. Okay. Well, and also, well, that's the thing. I don't know, what are we talking about here? Two of Cups, Six of Pentacles. I mean, this could just be talking about fornication and judgment. All these people who've been sleeping around, having lots of different, they've been having sex with lots of different people. Well, they're dead people that need to wake from their graves because they're being judged, right? The trumpet's being blown. Yeah? It's interesting though, isn't it? I mean, look at that flag. What does it remind you of? It reminds, what I mean? It looks like the England flag, doesn't it? St. George's, it's the St. George's flag, isn't it? It's where I live. I live in St. George's in West-sur-Mer, or Wirral, or whatever, you know what I mean? Wirral, West-sur-Mer, whatever, right? And then we got the Queen of Swords. The Emperor. And then we got the Seven of Wands. For fuck's sake. Why is this so bloody complicated, huh? Fuck's sake, man. Ugh. Alright, there's two cards there. We've got the Hermit and the Queen of Wands. What the fuck? What the fuck is that trying to say? I don't understand what are we talking about here? Look, the fact is like, okay, what's a queen? Right? A gay man could be called a queen, right? So I don't know what the fuck this is trying to say. Two of Cups, Six of Pentacles, Judgment, Queen of Swords, the Emperor, Seven of Wands, the Hermit, Queen of Wands. Well, yeah, I don't know. I can't think of any woman who's a Queen of Wands. A woman who has a vagina, right? Who's a hermit. I don't know who the fuck that's talking about, right? And the Queen of Swords, well, Who the fuck is she? Do you know what I mean? Is it, you know what I mean? Like, the Queen of Swords. Well, I guess, you know, what am I? Oh, everyone wants to judge me. Oh, alright, okay, because I'm straight. Well, that's the thing. I'm straight. I have a gay ass. Okay? I've already explained that a million fucking times. Sorry, I can't really shout too much because it's the middle of fucking night. But this is what, you know. I'm a Queen of Swords, or someone's a Queen of Swords. And then we got the Emperor card. Queen of Swords, the Emperor, Seven of Wands. Someone's making this fucking stand for themselves. Gee, who the fuck would that be, I wonder? Is that the Emperor? Is that me? And you've got the Hermit. Well, that's the thing, right? I never go out the fucking house. I can't even tell you the last time I went out the house. Queen of Wands, right? I take it in the ass. There you go. Alright, that's all you need to know. Alright, Queen of Swords. You like my rainbow hat? It's on my head. You got a problem with the fact that I do what I do? I'm God at the end of the day. If you don't like it, fuck off. Yeah. I've done what I've had to do in my life. I was raised by a lesbian. I was surrounded by gay men when I was growing up. When I first started going to the pub, drinking, I used to go to gay bars. Why? Because they let me in. Because they never had any problem me drinking there. I mean, the fact was I was underage. I was 16 years old. And I just kept going to the same bar. And they would serve me beer, and guys would buy me beer. You know, there was never any shortage of drinks for me, or drugs. You know, I could just, you know, if I wanted to get wasted, just turn up at the bar. And people would buy me drinks. That's kind of how it happened when I was a teenager. I was a total waster. You know, I was an alcoholic. I was addicted to alcohol and drugs and cigarettes. And if I didn't have any money, well, I knew where to get it. I knew, you know, I usually had some money of my own, but, you know, if I didn't have any money, people would buy me drinks anyway. So, yeah, and the thing is that, yeah, I am the way I am, okay? It is how, I am how I am, that's how it is. If you don't like it, fuck off. I mean, you know, that's the thing, right? Because, you know, I suppose Christians, they would say, well, but Jesus said it's a sin for a man to lie with another man and for a woman to lie with another woman. Okay, what's your point? I'm God. You're not God. I'm God. There's a difference, isn't there? You want me to play by the same rules as you do, right? That's the thing, right? That's because a lot of people, they want me to play by the same rules. They expect God should play by, you know, if God's going to set rules for everybody, God has to adhere to the same rules. Oh. Well, let me explain. Okay, so, you know how Adam and Eve, they fell, okay? They wanted to be God. They wanted to be me. You see how this all, what are we talking about now? Okay, so I don't want people to try to be me. Okay, I want people to stop trying to be me. To stop being me. I'm unique. I do what I do. Stop trying to be me. Do you understand what I'm saying? I have to do what I have to do. Okay, I do things I don't like, and I do things I do like. I do both, right? I can do good things. I can do things I enjoy. I can do things I hate. But I do what I do. I do what I have to do. Okay? If you don't like it, piss off. Because I've had enough of you trying to judge me. I'm the one supposed to be judging you. Okay. Now, might as well do a fourth tarot reading, seeing as we got this far. Oh, give me a card. Come on. Come on. Alright. That's one there. Got King of Swords. Page of Swords. Okay. It's an interesting combination of cards. The Hierophant. Ooh, that's a very nice combination of cards, isn't it? That is a very nice combination of cards. Now, what's a Page of Swords? See, normally, when I see this card, my first thought is someone's an idiot. Someone's not very smart. They're a Page of Swords. But obviously it has multiple meanings, right? For instance, I have a Facebook page. You know, in terms of magic, it will come out as Page of Swords, or maybe Page of Wands, or Page of Pen. It's a page, right? A web page. But the thing is that obviously, well, you know, this is a, you see what that is? The Holy Bible, right? It's got pages in it, right? Pages. You know, Jesus said, called the scriptures the sword, right? So let's look at this again. The King of Swords, the Page of Swords, yeah, and here's the Hierophant card. Yeah, you see that? The Hierophant card. Religious institution, right? He's, you know, I know it says the Hierophant there, but it could also say the Pope or the High Priest. Yeah? You know, Jesus was called the High Priest of the Order of Melchizedek. Okay, that was one of the titles people gave to Jesus. Alright, let's carry on with this reading, shall we? I just want one card, please. One at a time. Oh, come on. Alright, take that one. Okay, we've got 9 of Swords. So, 9 of Swords. You know, obviously, the person's unhappy, right? I'm unhappy. 9 of Swords. Okay. King of Wands. Go on then, I'll take those. Alright, and we got 10 of Wands. Okay. 10 of Wands. 9 of Wands, right? So, exhaustion. Total exhaustion. Continuing anyway, right? You see how it's the 9 of Wands. He's got a sore head and he's like, well, I just have to keep going. I haven't got any other choice, have I? Page of Wands, right? So this is the thing, right? I'm posting on Facebook. I'm posting on YouTube. You know, I'm totally exhausted. I'm I am the 9 of Swords. I'm suffering from a lot of anxiety. You know, I'm suffering from, you know, my life, it feels like a nightmare. Yeah, it does. It feels like a freaking nightmare. I'm stressed. Okay, I'm the King of Wands. And what does that really, what is the King of Wands? Well, you know, he's like the powerful wizard man, right? I mean, I'm God. It's to do with my magic power. That's why I'm the King of Wands. It's not nothing to do with how big my penis is. It's about my magic power. Okay? 10 of Wands. Total exhaustion, right? Carrying on anyway with the Page of Wands. So, Page of Wands. Well, my Facebook page, my YouTube page, they are pages where I do magic. Okay? So I carry on. I just keep working at it until I get what I want. Okay, shall I carry on? Shall I do some more cards? Okay, get some more cards here. Eight of Pentacles. So that, you see how he is chiseling away at a pentacle. So this is, you know, dedication to craft. You know, it suggests, you know, this is a, you know, dedication to doing magic, which is what I'm doing with my Facebook page and YouTube page, because I'm doing magic. Or, you know, it's I'm God, I'm doing what I have to do. It's my power, right? Calling it magic is just simple. It's trying to explain it to you simply, right? And here we have the Queen of Wands. So 8 of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, right? So strength. Okay. Ooh. Okay, take that one. 10 of Pentacles. Take that one as well. Ooh. The Devil. Ooh. The World. Grab a couple more cards. Okay, that's a whole bunch of cards there. Right, so we've got Knight of Wands. 4 of Wands. 3 of Swords. Justice. Queen of Swords. Six of Swords. Six of Swords, Ace of Swords, Judgment. Okay, let me stop there for a second. So, King of Swords, Page of Swords, the Hierophant. 9 of Swords, King of Wands, 10 of Wands, 9 of Wands, Page of Wands, 8 of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Strength, 10 of Pentacles, the Devil, the World, Knight of Wands, 4 of Wands, 3 of Swords, Justice, Queen of Swords, 6 of Swords, Ace of Swords, Judgment. Right. So I could read this in some different ways, but, you know, King of Swords, Page of Swords, the Hierophant. You know, I'm the King of Swords. I was Jesus Christ. I'm God. Yeah, I'm not happy. 9 of Swords, King of Wands, 10 of Wands, 9 of Wands. So exhausted, but carrying on with the Page of Wands, 8 of Pentacles. Right? I'm trying to get the Queen of Wands, right? You know, some sexy hot ladies, right? Lust, strength, yeah, a woman with the lion, right? 10 of Pentacles, you know, that's a load of butts, right? The Devil card, right, which I can show you there, right? The Devil. The World. Okay, Knight of Wands. So that's, you know, that's having sex. Okay. Four of Wands, community, society. Okay. Three of Swords, unhappy. That's called justice, right? Because society has treated me like absolute shit. Like, the society has treated me like disposable garbage. And so, I've been humiliated, insulted, attacked. The world has really been trying to cause my death, basically. And I've survived, basically. I'm still here. My justice is, well, that's the thing, right? I'm going to have money and woman and lots of sex, and society is going to be heartbroken about it and not be happy about it. They'll be jealous, that kind of thing, right? That's called justice, right? Queen of Swords, Six of Swords, Ace of Swords, Judgment. So there's this Queen of Swords. Moving on, Ace of Swords, talking about Judgment. So I guess that's gonna, yeah. So that's where I end this reading. I shall upload this video, and once I've done that, I will continue posting on Facebook. Okay.